All right, you guys. Looks like we have a smaller crowd today, but thank you for joining and being on time, everyone. We'll go ahead and hand it over to Gilbert. But actually, first off, I just want to say happy holidays and thank you for joining during this holiday week, and thank you for working this week as well. Those of you who didn't take, a bunch of vacation time during this busy week, I appreciate you for working this week. Okay, let's get ready for this sales call. Pay attention. And hopefully we'll learn some stuff so that we can have a really successful, busy week, this week and then next week. So we have very high expectations going into the rest of the week, especially after Christmas and then into the new year. We did lots of sales last year. Okay, so we're really trying to equal those sales as much as we can, okay, or beat them. So Gilbert, I'll let you go ahead and get going, okay?
Yes, thank you, Jordan. Okay, and yeah, before I get started, also, happy holidays to everyone. One thing I'm going to say is, if you're in the store tomorrow should be pretty busy. Tomorrow's going to be one of those days the stores are going to be packed because it's the day before Christmas Eve. People are going to be getting their last minute shopping done. I mean, now is the time where you really can make second and third tier bonus in the bonus structures. You have to, though. One thing is, the stores are going to be loud. You have to kind of be a little louder. So when you're at the table, tomorrow, and if you're working on Wednesday as well, try to be a little more louder. Try to be a little more animated. You want to be seen. You want people to. You want to be able to engage with people. The only way that's going to happen is if you're heard and seen. So it's going to be super beneficial, especially the next couple days. Because we're right before the big holiday. One of the biggest holidays of the year. We have to be seen and heard above the noise and the din of the store. Because the crowd's rushing around. So one thing that I've been doing that has helped me a lot is waving people in, like using your arms. Hey, come in, come get a sample. You look like you could use a pick-me-up. But when you wave people in and you got a smile on your face, more often than not, especially at this little stressful time, I've had a lot of people just stopping in. Oh, you know what? Can I get a sample? Because I need some energy. They see it on the table. I'm calling out. Come get your Super Greens today. Super Greens plus energy. Come get that pick-me-up. You have to be, a little more verbal. With the stores as busy as, they have been, it's a little bit more difficult to individually pull a person in. So you kind of have to call out what, the products. And you'll be surprised too, because a lot of times somebody will hear you and they'll turn around and say, hey, you got creatine? Let me try the creatine. Not because they've seen it on the table, but because they heard you say it. So you have to be, a little more active, a little more visible. But with the amount of people that we're going to have in the store, it's going to be a good opportunity to hit that second and third tier on the bonus structures. Especially if you're working on, Xena days when, they have no qualifier. That, those should be money days for you. And tomorrow is a Xena day. So tomorrow should be good money. As long as you're doing your best to engage people and to greet and draw them in, because that is the key. You really can't even sell them the product if you don't engage them. Now, granted, you will get a lot of people that will stop, but you need to take advantage of the fact that there's going to be so many more people. You can get crowds around your table at this time if you're speaking loud enough that people can hear you over all the people talking in the store. I'm not saying yell and scream, but you do have to raise your tone enough that people can hear you, because it does get loud when you'll have a crowd of people standing around talking right across from you, and it's hard for other people to hear you. But when you raise your tone enough and say you're talking to one person, but you're speaking loud enough that other people can hear you, other people will stop too, and then you'll end up getting a crowd. Yes, when you're engaged with a customer, you're engaged with them, but you're also trying to pull in more fish at the same time. the way, like I said, to do that is to raise your tone, be a little bit louder. And I'm not saying scream at people, but be a little more loud, be a little more animated. Use your hands to point to the products. Pick a product up and if there's something they're sampling, like say they're sampling a creatine gummy, grab the creatine and hand it to them so they can take a look at it. Point to the brain health part on it. And speak about it loud enough, like I said, that you can be heard over the din of the store. And also, too, it's a good time to get more than one sale at a time. It's a great time to get people to pick up 2 to 3 products off your table. But the only way that's going to happen is if you tell them to try it. And once again, I said it last week. You don't want to ask them. You want to tell them, hey, try that one. That one's great. That's great stuff. If you tell them, most often than not, they're going to take the sample. But if you ask them, you're kind of giving them an out. No, I'm okay. I mean, they might say that anyways, even if you tell them to, but you increase your chances of them actually trying it if you tell them, hey, try it. If they tried the first thing and they liked it, yeah, you like that one? Try this one. This one's great. The collagen with biotin is great. Or try this, the turmeric gummies. They're really good. Always try to introduce them to another product that's, on your table. Because if you only let them sample the one thing, if you just like, oh, yeah, this collagen with biotin, that's probably all they're going to sample. They might grab one, but they're not going to grab something else. Always try to pitch more than one product to the customer. Just even whatever, like you're on, they're looking at the creatine. Hey, try the colostrum. The colostrum is great. It doesn't have any flavor, but you can mix it in any cold drink. I like to try to get people with any one of the greens and the colostrum together. I'll even tell them, if they take a sample of the super greens, I'm like, here, try a sample of this, and then grab the colostrum. You can mix it together and see how it tastes. And a lot of times they'll be like, oh, that's good. I'll take one of each. But in order for that to happen, once again, you do have to always be thinking ahead, always trying to. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. You always have to be working on getting more than one off the table. I mean, even if you have one of those stores that's extremely busy all the time, if you can just add, say 5 people that out of you normally sell a certain amount, right? Say for instance you do 30 every, 30 is your average in that store, right? But just say if you got 5 extra products, from a single customer out, you can increase your average, increase your money just by telling them to try 1 or 2 of the other things, and you're going to have plenty of opportunities, like I said, within the next couple of days, because the stores will be extremely busy. Most stores are open on Christmas Eve, I believe. So people are going to be getting their last minute shopping done. You're going to have a lot of opportunities. So you're going to be welcoming to people. Call out, hey, I got some super greens. Come get a sample. Get a little pick me up. Vitamins, hydration, and energy. Come get a sample. Be, loud. Don't just, because I can promise you this. If you just kind of stand at the table and just say, come get a sample, not many people are going to want to engage with you. But if you're more like, come get your super greens today, come get a little sample, get a little pick me up, get healthy for the new year, new year, new you, super greens, come get a sample, Sorry, give me 1 second.
You guys, I've got to totally reiterate, we should be hitting those tier 2, tier 3, no matter whether it's the busiest time of the season, okay, or any week, okay, because tier 3 is where they want you guys, okay? That's where you guys need to be for total units. This is an opportunity for you guys to show us your sales skills, okay? As the stores get even busier, we expect you guys to sell more product, not the opposite direction, okay? The sales last year for this time of year, Saturday, Sunday this week, And then going into next week, people were selling 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 plus units. Okay. We had the super greens on sale last year. We had collagen on sale. We don't have collagen on sale this year. Okay. But we have creatine, which is pretty much brand new still across the board. It's only been there for maybe 5-6 months. Go in there thinking that creatine's brand new. Get customers on it for their New Year's resolutions. Same thing with the super greens. We don't have any competition for both of those products, to be honest. AG1 is not competition. Creatine powders, okay, the hide is full of junk. Okay, there's no real good competition in there for us. So you guys are gonna have to go out there and bring that energy, bring the loudness, like he said. You have to be loud. Okay, and then you got to bring it down once they get to the table. Unless there's 5 people around you and they're all trying to talk to you. If they're all there, making noise, plus there's noise from the check stands, plus there's noise all around you. Okay, you guys really just gotta, you have to draw attention to yourselves. Okay, you guys have to own the stage. Okay, open strong when you're calling people over. Okay, use props, make your table look nice for the holiday season. Maybe wellness related this time around. Instead, we're almost done with the holidays, like Christmas and stuff. So let's think like, how can we make our table even more inviting and engaging for New Year's resolutions? Okay. React like you're live on camera. Again, put on that show. You have to draw attention to yourself. More than what CDS draws attention to them. Okay, more than what ZipFizz draws attention to them. You guys have to be bigger, bolder, and better. We pay you overall better than any of those other companies. And we can't just pay you to not sell the product and hit the goals. Okay? Keep going, man. Gilbert.
Yeah, I do agree with, especially with what you just said too. That we pay way better. This company pays way better than any of those companies. I was actually a district manager for ZipFizz.
Yeah, and I hired a ZipFizz dude in Ohio. Okay, and he's only been with me less than a month. Okay, and he stepped right in first day, second day, 30, 40 units between super greens and creatine. I don't care if he sells any collagen. I don't care if he sells any colostrum. He hit 40 units on my 2 most important products. First, second day, third day. And pretty much every single day out of 4 different stores that I put him in, even my slowest store in Ohio, and that everybody else complains about, he still goes in and sells 30 or 40 units. Why? Because he knows the product. He's ambitious. The dude, I'm not saying names here, but he needs the money. I mean, he was probably living out of his car. Okay? Why do I do good? Because I got 4 kids. I got a big house, okay, that needs a lot of work. And I got property, so I need the money, okay? I need people out there who need the money. I need people out there who want to hit the goals and want to make people healthy, okay? You guys have to be ambitious for those quotas and the bonuses, not just the hourly pay that we pay you, okay? Gilbert, go ahead, man.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, I actually was the district manager for the Bay Area of ZipFizz. I left ZipFizz to come to this company to make more money. I work less hours, I have less stress, and I'm making way more money. Sometimes you have to be hungry.
You guys, my boss, who's been doing this 12 years, came from ZipFizz too. He launched ZipFizz way back when. Okay.
Yeah.
And then his best friend created Juice. Okay. Just saying. And guess what? Unfortunately, Juice is barely active inside of Costco anymore, and that's because our super greens and everything else we sell do better. So yeah, we knock out the competition over and over again. Even ZipFizz. I mean, they're not selling like they used to because of our super greens.
Yeah. No. Most definitely. It's not, we've taken a big chunk out of everybody else's niche. Our products are superior. I mean, there's no competition from AG1. There really isn't. There's so many things that I mean, honestly, especially the price point, there's just so much that, it doesn't beat us in so many categories. There's so many categories that it can't beat us. And the creatine is the only creatine that has D3 and K2 in Costco. And it's the only creatine gummy. So it's a super unique product.
You could also say it's the only D3 and K2 with creatine. All depends on who you're selling it to. You got people looking at D3 and K2, sell them the D3, K2 with creatine. You got people looking at creatine, sell them the one with the D3 and the K2. All right, flip it around.
Exactly. You see, and some people will prefer it in the gummy form as well because they can actually, stagger their dose like I do. I'll take 3 before working out, and I'll take 2 after to recover. So there's so many benefits to our creatine over all the other ones in the store. Our products have way more benefits. One of the biggest ways you're ever going to succeed is knowing your product and knowing your competition. Even though they're not competition, but if you know your product and you know where your product has the edge, you're going to win most of the time. So that is one thing that's important. One thing I highly believe in is doing a little bit of research on your product. I mean, just a little bit. Just Google what does colostrum do? Just Google what does the magnesium. I can't even pronounce the L-thronate. What does this do for your body? Google those things. Learn a little bit about it, and because one thing is knowledge is power.
Guys, I've got the research for you too, and I posted on the Connect team, the team chat all the time, and that's nothing that our company provided me. That's me doing the research for you guys. Okay, and
take advantage of that.
I'm making it easy for you. We need you to go out to sell products. I do provide the info for you guys. You just need to read your team updates on Connect Team and not have notifications turned off. Okay, you need to listen to the podcast that we've created. Do whatever you can to utilize the things we've already provided, but simply type into Google and it will curate an AI response for you that's pretty darn good. Just fact check it. Okay, you could literally Google any type of question you have about any of these products, and it will give you all the info you need. It will even use the name brand sometimes. Okay.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to say is take advantage of the information that Jordan's posting for you guys. It takes all of 30 seconds, a minute to read it. It's not like they usually put out novels about it, but there's just key points that are gonna attract people to the product. Every single product we have has just 2 or 3 key points. I mean, they have more than that, but there's at least 2 or 3 key points that you can tell the people about that is going to intrigue them. They're going to make them want to pick it up, make them want to try it. And
you have to focus on the popular ingredients or the popular, well-known, marketed and advertised benefits, right? Yeah. So like you were to get on social media like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, okay, you're going to find influencers talking about ashwagandha. You're going to find them talking about maca. They'll talk about probiotics and gut health, okay? They'll talk about, like in our energy greens, they'll talk about yerba mate as a better caffeine source. You have to pick the most well-known popular things to talk about that are inside all of these huge like ingredients lists, like in our super greens and our energy greens, and call out for those key benefits or the key ingredients. And that's how you really draw the attention from the customer. I mean, you don't have to you just have to mention certain words to get them over to the table. And a lot of times for me, it's really just hitting on the things that we're all struggling with, which is stress, which is poor sleep, which is lacking energy, which is hormone balancing, which is, the gut health, joints, arthritis, skin health, beauty, longevity. People want to turn back the time. They want to look 10 years younger than they are. Well, we sell stuff for that. Almost every single item besides the magnesium on a quinoa day has antioxidants. Antioxidants fight free radicals that destroy and damage your cells, that make you sick. Right? The super greens is packed full of antioxidants. You can sell it for skin, sell it for immunity. Okay? The liquid collagen, that one doesn't necessarily have antioxidants in it. Okay? But you have the pure colostrum, which is loaded with antioxidants. The creatine is antioxidants. The turmeric is antioxidants. I'm a master at linking every single product together, whether it's Xena with Xena, Xena with quinol, quinol with quinol, or quinol with Xena. Okay? You have to be really good at linking all of these products together and all of these products with other products inside of Costco. So you become kind of a nutritionist. Okay, you're not a doctor, you're not a pharmacist, but you almost become this person that knows about all the stuff inside the pharmacy. If you can't know about the stuff enough to build that trust and the rapport with the customers, it's really hard to be successful, because people will just say, I'm going to go do my own research, I'm going to take a picture. Well, you should offer to do the research for them. All right, maybe not while it's super busy right now, because you won't have that kind of time. Okay, it's a numbers game more than anything right now.
Yep.
The next 2 weeks, how many people can you talk to? And then how many people can you convert with a quick pitch? Okay, that's what you're going to have to do the next 2 weeks. Maybe the next month, to be honest. Okay, we're going into the busy season through February. Okay, I mean, the next 2-3 months probably are going to be slammed. Okay, but anyways, Gilbert, so I'm not trying to hijack, but I kind of like to go back and forth a little bit.
No worries. But yes, I mean, just 100%. The better you know your product, the more you're going to see your numbers go up. All you need is just a couple of key things. You don't have to know, a whole speech on each product. You just have to know a couple of things that you can get through quick enough to, like he said, kind of link these things together. The colostrum mixed with the super greens is, it's a super drink at that point, like you can link these things together. The creatine, with the super greens energy, you can use the super greens energy as a little pre-workout, and then take your creatine,
that's for people that don't want the crazy stimulant pre-workout. Like if they were to do the other creatine powder that's inside of Costco, the Mr. Hyde, okay, that's got beta alanine, okay, which makes you feel like you're on methamphetamines. Okay, it's got it like makes your skin tingle. There's a bunch of ingredients in some of the other options for people that work out that a lot of people don't want to mess with. Plus, there's artificial colors and other ingredients that are bad for you. I mean, people are trying to stay away from dyes these days. They're trying to stay from certain fillers. So we have a one-up because it's just creatine, D3, and K2, not a bunch of other things that sometimes people don't want. Okay.
Yeah, and another thing is they're made from pectin, which is a big thing to a lot of people. I'm personally not sure why, but they're made of pectin and not gelatin. So that's kind of a key point for some people too.
Yeah, so I grew up Seventh-day Adventist. Okay, Jewish people are the same way. A lot of people that are halal are the same way. They won't touch anything that's like pork. Okay, so gelatin is usually derived from pork or horse hoof. So it's unclean to people. It's
Well, so yeah. Thank you for explaining that to me, because I didn't know. I really didn't. But I did know that. I've had multiple people ask me, "Oh, is it gelatin?" And I know it's pectin. Oh, okay, I'll try one. So that's another key point. Just a few things. It doesn't take that long. If you just spend 5 minutes a day while at work, if it's slow, not right now, it's probably not going to be the greatest time, but if things are slow, you have a minute, pop open the chat, just look up a couple things, try to memorize whatever, a couple of things, and then start trying to implement it in, like I said, the more you know, the better you're going to do.
If you guys don't like using Google, and you're a reader, maybe you're old school, you like to read books, things like that. Okay. When I worked at Vitamin World, I don't know who's on video or not. You can write this down. Okay. But prescription for nutritional healing was our go-to anytime a customer had a really detailed question about what something can do for you. Okay. And I can't necessarily reimburse you for this. I'm going to open up the video so you can see it if you're on video. Okay. So this is what I have sitting on my bookshelf. Prescription for nutritional healing. All right. And this is 5th edition. All right. There's probably like the 10th edition now. Okay. But if you had one of these with you and you're like working in a slow store, okay, or it's a dead day, you could whip this out and you can talk about whatever you want. Okay. You can sell them anything based off this book. You're not a doctor. You're giving them information right there, doing the research for them with this book. Okay. And you could have them read through it.
Yeah, but I mean, any research you do is good. Just, a couple minutes a day. Spend a couple minutes a day trying to learn a couple things from Jordan's chat, or if you like to read, whatever. But just a couple minutes a day is all it takes. If you do that for, say, a week, you will add so many tools to your tool belt, and you will notice a difference in your sales. There's no way you won't, because you're kind of educating these people on the product, and that's why they're going to pick it up. A lot of people, I'm pretty sure most of the people that when they come to the table, one of the first things they ask you is, what does colostrum do? You know, they're wanting you to educate them, but if you don't know anything about the product, really, you can't really educate them, so they're not going to be willing to get it. I mean, it's just, okay, it's not appealing to me, and it doesn't really do, you know. Pick a couple key things. There are certain things that, like Jordan said earlier, have universal appeal. Gut health, you know, recovery. Those, you know, those things have universal appeal to people. Learn a few things about them, and you will notice that you start to get more and more sales. I know we're coming up on 30 minutes, so if you wanted to go ahead and take over, Jordan, and finish the call.
Yeah.
But, you know,
yeah, you guys. So just focus on your product knowledge and figuring out how to link the items together. Right? When you have people that have money at your table, and you can tell by how big their carts are, you know, usually if they have a full cart, they have no problem buying 2, 3, 4, 5 of one item. Okay, when these super greens and the creatine go on sale, if you want to sell 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 units, focus on your sale item, sell 5 super greens to 5 people. I'm just saying, that's how you're going to do it. Okay, my top promoters don't just sell one item to the people that buy. They sell multiple. They sell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, either of the same item or programs. Okay, and the only way you get that is by just, you know, you get them hooked on one, you keep going through all 4 items on the table. If we didn't think it was beneficial to have 5 items on the table, you just have 2 or 3, okay? Which is what we did in the past. Our sales have increased by having 5 items on the table, okay? So go out there, link all the items together. I also wanted to hit real quick, you guys, just on, you know, I feel like it's really important that we make sure that we are dressed for success. I probably said this last time, okay? We need to have clean clothes on, okay? Make sure that we get up and we shower in the morning so that we smell good, okay? Not heavy scents, though. You cannot wear perfume and colognes. It will keep people away from your table because they have allergies. A lot of people are sensitive to smells, whether it's good or a bad smell. Just everything should be neutral, okay? Just like when you're talking to a customer, your politics, that should be neutral too, okay? We take a stance that's firm on our products, and that's what we talk about when we're at the table, okay? We're open, we're inviting, we're engaging. We do not stand there with our arms crossed, okay? You have to be out next to your table if you can. Behind your table is fine when you got 5 people there, or 1 or 2 people, whatever. But if nobody's around, get out from behind the table. If you're able to stand behind it, stand next to it. Get out in the main aisle. Look at people 15, 20 feet down the aisle. Get ready for them, okay? You see them, they're coming down, make eye contact. Like Gilbert said, wave them over to your table. Arms wide open, pull them in like you're going to give them a hug, okay? Obviously not giving them a hug, but you're pulling them in, okay? Wave at them. Do whatever you can to fully engage them, okay? If you are behind your, you know, if you see a huge crowd coming, that's when you get behind your table, you get your tray ready. You do not leave no samples on the tray when you got 50 people walking down that aisle. You have to have at least one of each item on the tray because they'll come over because they see something on the tray, okay? You have to be ready. And if you don't have enough samples ready for 50 people, you're going to be playing catch up the entire time. You're going to be so distracted by putting samples, your pitches are going to suck, okay? You have to be super good at pitching and getting your samples ready all at the same time. You will miss out if you're too slow at all that. So, you know, some promoters are really good at buying time, okay, by pouring samples while they're pitching. They're really good at multitasking. Okay, for me, I'm good at that, but I'm also really good at making sure I got enough of each item on my tray if it's busy. Okay, because I want to focus all my attention on telling the customers about the value of these products and what it's going to do for them to make them feel better with all the issues that they have. And yes, I say issues that they have because we have a lot of health issues as a society, okay? And then there's some people that act like they don't. And guess what? They probably use our products. They think they're great because they already use it, Okay. So appreciate you guys for being on. We're just doing the 30 minutes today. So everybody have a great holiday week. Okay. Let's go out there tomorrow if you're working and kill it. Okay. But think about getting these super greens inside people's stockings. Remember, 4 years and older kids love them. Okay. Have a great day, you guys. We'll talk again here soon. Okay. If you have any questions, reach out on Connect Team. Thanks, Gilbert. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. Have a happy holidays and be safe. Talk to you guys again.
But I want to let you guys know I've been going around to stores lately and watching people. Sometimes I say hi to people, or sometimes I pretend to be a customer. Okay, so essentially secret shopping people. All right, I'm not looking for compliance things in regards to how your table's set up, or are there too many products on the table? What I'm looking for is like, are you guys sitting on your phone? Are you guys actually engaging customers? Okay, a store I checked up on today. Unfortunately, everybody. There were 5 demos in the pharmacy area. Lots and lots of customers. Okay, in one of the slowest stores in the area. Lots and lots of customers. The whole time I was watching. Okay, the whole time for about an hour, there were customers walking by this promoter, and he wasn't saying anything unless they walked up to his table. Okay, but then I go and visit my slowest store, and it's busy. Okay, but I go visit my slowest store, but it's half the amount of customers. So a busy store, you have customers all day long passing your table, except for maybe 15 to 30 minutes. In most busy stores, it's all day long. There's no stop. Okay, but if I go to my slowest store, I have a promoter there, and she has 5 minutes in between customers sometimes. That means in between people walking in front of her table, and she's still talking in between those customers because she's not leaving her table the whole time, looking behind her and around her, but she's talking. So what I've experienced is that promoters go out there and they're doing everything super slow, zero energy in their voice, no voice at all, really. Okay, I'm 50% deaf in my left ear, and so I stand so that my right ear is facing the customer a little bit. Keep in mind, it's busy too, right? So I'm trying samples for promoters, and most of them, okay, they aren't my top salespeople. Pretty much all of those slow, the people not hitting the sales goals are moving extremely slow. Okay, that's the words that come out of their mouth are slow, so slow that they're taking a minute just to tell me that there's yerba mate with 100 milligrams of caffeine and ginkgo biloba. Okay, a minute just to get that out. In between getting me a sample that's pre-made but not poured, and telling me what's in the super greens, it took a whole minute. By that time, I'm done. I'm bored, and my family's already at checkout, and I have I'm literally having to stall my day here to try to squeeze some words out of half of the promoters, trying to get some information out of half the promoters, but nobody's giving me anything. I have to ask them for the benefits and what it's going to do. If your customers have to ask you what the product does, then you're not doing your job. You have to tell them what the product does before they ask. Because if they're asking you, you're not doing your job. You have to tell them each product that's on the table without them asking. Period. That's your job. Otherwise, you will not sell anything except for one every hour. Okay? You see a person, you're engaging. You're bringing them over to the table. Then you tell them about the first product, the second product, the third product, the fourth product, and the fifth product. Okay? And if you got to do it fast, to get through all 5, do it fast. One will stick out, and then you go into full description of what the benefits are. So, just wanted to let you guys know, and, I was hoping there'd be more people on here to find out that I've been doing some walkthroughs, okay? But basically, so many people are producing such low sales that we have to go in there and see what people are doing. and we're not going to tell you that we're there. And if we are going to tell you that we're there, it's not going to be a great interaction. So, half the time I'll go in and I'll pretend to be a customer. You guys got to put on the show. If you're not putting on the show, I'm going to give you some constructive criticism right there to your face, and you're probably not going to like it. You're going to want to take off your gloves and go home. So, because most people don't like being told what to do in this industry, and that's what I've noticed. All right, I've had 10 people quit this year, just in the last month, because they're going out there and they're on their phones, and they're just standing there, or they're not even at the table. I sit there, I stand around sometimes for an hour, and no one's back. They get a 30-minute lunch, not a 30-minute lunch, 2 pay 15s all combined. They're separated, but also not like 1.5 to 2 hours. So, we're looking for producers. The goals are high next week, and they're high this weekend. When I say high, we're pulling 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 units next month. Or next week, I'm sorry. Okay? So, at the end of the year, and then into next month, people are really thinking about their health and their wellness, right? Their New Year's resolutions. So we're going to have to figure out how to build the programs, but mostly stay active and talk to everybody. And you got to get through the products fast. This last person I saw today, he had his super greens on his table. He had on display. He had everything on display, one of each item. That's it. He had his laminates leaning up against each item. Price signs were up against it. I started off by saying, I want to try the super greens. I want to try the energy greens. And all he had out was one sample of collagen. And he had in an ice bucket right behind his tray, he had super greens and collagen. Underneath the table, he had a cooler with super greens energy under there. It took him a whole minute, right, to get that collagen just out of his cooler to give me a sample. He wasn't pitching me while he was doing it. He wasn't telling me the benefits while he was doing it. He wasn't multitasking. I was just sitting there awkwardly, thinking, well, okay, do I have to ask this guy questions? Is he going to sell it to me? He made really great eye contact, okay? And that's was the best thing I could say, is that he made good eye contact, and he was somewhat knowledgeable, but I had to ask him for the information. Okay, so my whole interaction probably lasted 10-15 minutes until I told him who I was. Okay, and out of that 10 to 15 minutes, I barely honestly got any information that I didn't have to ask for. And the fact that he told me it was yerba mate and ginkgo, that was literally just 2 out of the 5 energy ingredients. I actually I had to confirm with him that there was ginkgo, because I didn't feel confident that he knew that there was actually ginkgo inside of the energy greens. Okay, so you guys need to know your products back and forth so that it can come out without being asked. It can come out fast when you are asked. You have to have an answer to their questions. So what you should take away from this is have your samples ready. Be ready for crowds. Okay, don't just have one sample out on the table. When I asked him for the creatine sample, once again, his creatine was underneath the table. And so this guy had a stool. He did not have a doctor's note for his stool. Okay, we don't allow sitting. So I literally observed him over a 30-minute period get on his phone 2 times, sitting there on a stool. And this is what a lot of my promoters do, who don't hit their sales goals. And you're not supposed to be on your phone. You guys get kicked out of Costco if the wrong CDS or Costco manager comes by. Okay, so and then he goes to tell me he wasn't on his phone. That's what I brought up after he pitched me. I talked to him about his sales skills. Okay, so just keep in mind, you guys, we do go out there and watch you guys, and a lot of my top promoters do pretty good. Okay, it's the people that aren't hitting sales goals typically that are breaking the rules, and or just not going out there and doing 20 plus whatever dollars per hour worth of work. Okay, CDS gets paid $16 an hour. They don't have the opportunity to earn bonus. So everybody I'm hiring going forward, honestly, is going to be focusing on bonus. So because we have people out there just collecting hourly pay and not trying to hit the sales goals. So anyways, you guys, we're going to keep it short. That's it. I I appreciate you showing up. Anybody? Actually, if you have questions, feel free, or if you have comments. So I have you guys unmuted. I mean, it's not directed towards you guys. I just wanted to kind of tell you, what's going on out there and why you guys are seeing a lot of pressure for sales. So, any comments? Any questions? All right. So, yeah, you guys, I want you to go out there and have a successful holiday season out there, okay? Have a good Christmas if you celebrate Christmas or whatever holiday you guys celebrate. But, expect it to be really busy if you're working this weekend. Most stores are going to be slammed. So, it was really busy today on a Tuesday. And after Christmas, people are going to be thinking more about their health than on today. Okay, so I appreciate you guys for joining. Don't take anything I just said personal, okay? I haven't visited any of you guys. So.
No, you're right. You're good. Yeah.
All right. Greg, I know you've been doing this a very long time, so you probably feel like you have a little bit of a target on your back, but how long have you been doing this?
Me? I'll be 4 years in February.
4 years in February. Okay. And you have any comments or anything,
It's all sometimes, it's not like we don't talk to people. The thing sometimes, especially on holidays, people are more focused on the, food that they need to buy and everything. But at the same time, I still get a lot. I still get a lot of actions here. So I'm not complaining. It's just, it's not like I'm trying. I'm here in the morning and I get set up because I know
you're definitely one of my people who's always on time, and I do appreciate that.
I come here at 9:30.
Yeah,
because
and that makes
my job are really good.
I know that you're doing your job in that regard, and you're setting up and being on time. So I mean that's great. But I don't like putting you on these sales calls, but we do have the sales goals. So you notice your schedule is changing a little bit, and thanks for just kind of going with the flow. But we'll be loading up on demos next week and going into the new year. Okay.
Yeah, you've been good to us, though. You've been providing all the ideas and everything like that. I like all your feedback. I always read them and I try to apply most of them. So it sometimes it clicks so much. Like today, it's good. It's all right. I can't complain. So we just have to hustle. That's all. It's a hustling day.
You have to hustle.
Yeah.
The person I saw today versus when I'm on the sales floor, I bring two totally different people. I'm I'm like a superstar quarterback, all right, or a receiver. Okay, I would be like Michael Jordan on the basketball court. Okay, I'm coming out there and bringing so much energy that there is not one person that won't hear me. The person I saw today, it was busy. He was up on the main aisle. On the main aisle, Greg. I know you don't always get to be on the actual main aisle where people are going to checkout. Okay, you're at a disadvantage there. But I mean, this guy was on the main aisle, and there were customers walking by. No line yet until I got to his table. Okay, 30 minutes, no line, but lots of people, and he wasn't talking loud at all. He was just waiting for them to show up. He was on his phone, and people were walking by the table, and he didn't acknowledge them. He was like texting, but then when I get up there and I try to get him to pitch me, he was talking so quietly that I had to. I'm partially deaf to my left ear, so I had to really turn my head to hear him. And he was talking quietly. It wasn't that the store was loud and busy. It was that he was pretty much just whispering, and he had no passion or interest or knowledge of the products. But what I'm kind of getting at is he needed to project his voice just so much more while he was talking to me, because there was people behind me and around me, kind of at a standstill, kind of waiting for people in front of them to decide what they were doing. And if he would just actually pitch me and talk loud enough, those people don't have to come to the table to hear what he's saying. Therefore, they will come to the table once he says something that actually draws their attention. So most people are focused only on the person at their table and don't even think to project their voice or put little gentle jabs out while they're pitching the one person. I mean, this guy wasn't even pitching me. He was just giving me the answer to my questions. He was not giving me the benefits unless I asked for it. So, if you're actually doing the job, you're talking without being asked to talk. And you're making sure everybody around you hears you. So the people behind me that I was having to I had to move left and right to avoid the people because I didn't want to be in the way of the aisle. But, they're like right behind me. So if you just spoke a little bit louder, you could get 2-3 people around the table instead of just me.
Yeah.
And then you just get one sale and 2 or 3 people are buying because people are followers. Usually, once you get one person to the table, the other people should be coming. And then if one person buys, the other people start buying because they just follow each other.
Yep, you're right. So I'm a testimony of the product because I've been buying the product since 2009. When they look at my physical body, I am like a model for them because you look that good and you're 81 years old. So it's really, they know. I tell them I use every single product that I sell because I believe in it.
Okay.
You
All right, you guys. Well, anyways, yep. Thanks for coming. We'll just have a quick call today, but I appreciate you guys for showing up. And let's have who's the last person that showed up here from Michigan?
I'm going to be saying a little later today. So anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye, Greg.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wireless caller from Trenton. All right. Thanks, everybody. We're ending the call. Thanks, Lori.
Bye-bye.